We live in a twilight world. Let's do another quick recording. Okay, at this current moment in time, obviously World War 33 has entered its next phase. The territories of Israel and Palestine are now kicking off. Okay, I am not over there. Just to do, my disclaimer, I'm not over there, yeah? So I can only give you my speculations. And of course, what I'm going to do is, give you my thoughts and theories regarding illusion warfare. Okay? So, I'm going to today talk about human trafficking in regards to illusion warfare. Now, this is very different from the human trafficking that you're probably picturing in your heads via what Hollywood and government propaganda want you to think. Okay? When they talk about human trafficking, they want you to think of this kind of idea of like a cartel or some kind of like organized crime group stealing children or something like that. But no, man, actually the biggest human trafficking organization of all are global governments. Yeah? When a hidden hand, puts in place an illusion operation, the masses are human trafficked into participation. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to get into today, right? Because with what's gone on over the last kind of like 24, maybe 48 hours over in Israel/Palestine, we've got some good examples, okay? So yeah, man, Israel has declared war on Hamas, by the way. They haven't declared war on Palestine. Anyway, so yeah, man, this is obviously a continuation of my illusion warfare for dummies, where I give like a very quick kind of, explanation of how illusion warfare works, okay? So obviously the main one that everyone should go check out over on, on my YouTube channel, which is probably where you're watching this, is what is illusion warfare. I've done props. I've done stage. I can't remember if I cover costumes or not, but either way, I haven't done all these. I'm going to skip straight to human trafficking. Okay, because what we had very, very recently was a prime example of human trafficking regarding illusion warfare, okay? So basically the Israeli government, old Netanyahu, gave people in Gaza a kind of warning. They pretty much said, like, you've got to get out. We're giving you a couple of days. We want you to evacuate Gaza because we're going to go in there and blow the shit out of it, okay? And, yeah, again, I'm not over there. I don't know how much of what we're being shown is true or not, but I speculate that is somewhat true. And civilians living in this area, the poor, unfortunate souls that don't understand that not participating is how you stop this going on, they would have headed out of Gaza, right? Now, they were told to head to Rafah, which is the border with Egypt. Okay, they were told they would they'd basically be given like instant refugee status and a safe passage through over to Rafah, okay, into Egypt. Now, what happened was, or what we're being told has happened, is that the masses headed down there, and then the Israelis started bombing the place. And of course, some people are saying it's the Israelis, some people are saying it's the Hamas were bombing their own people to false flag the Israelis. No. It would have been the Ghost Legion, okay? And now here's what would have happened. Once that order came through to evacuate Gaza, the hidden hand would have put in kind of facilitators that would have helped that. I'm talking trucks, taxis, coaches. They would have made it a very, very easy process. Even they probably would have sent in like ambulance drivers, fire brigade, the police. They would have escorted and facilitated the journey to here. Now, once they would have got here to the border point, they would have got slowed up. And when enough people were here in a large amount, the hidden hand you know, the League of Shadows, the Ghost Nation, whatever you want to call them, would have started dropping bombs here, very close to where they have human trafficked the Palestinian masses, okay? And this is actually a map at the time of where bombs were going off when, you know, supposedly an exodus was happening, right? This is, of course, illusion warfare. They human trafficked the masses into a spot and then set off the fireworks very, very close to them. Which obviously, you know, for the easily fooled, easily hypnotized, poor, unfortunate souls that find themselves here, it would have felt very fucking real. You've got to think they would have been kept here for hours with their refugee sandwiches and refugee water. I imagine the Red Cross are somewhere around here. That sinister organisation that is the Red Cross, the Rosicrucians. And then boom, 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 boom. They would have heard artillery coming in very, very close by. That would have scared the shit out of them. And of course, they would have all, with their TikTok accounts, filmed, you know, the large towers of smoke that would have appeared in the distance, right? You would have had, you know, hundreds, possibly thousands of people disseminating what they thought to be a real incoming attack onto social media. You know, organic. It would have seemed very organic. But what you've got to understand is it's pre-planned. Like I just said, I'm going to repeat myself. The hidden hand, human traffic them there, and then right next to them, they done an illusion operation and started shelling empty fields. Okay? Now, this, of course, was done in Kiev. I might have to get the pen out for this one. Okay, let's get the pen out. So in the Battle of Kiev, here's what happened. The hidden hand, the ghost army, British special forces, whatever you want to call them, would have started artillery striking. Hang on, let's move to red. Artillery striking empty fields, okay? Do you get what I'm saying? So there's an artillery unit here. They would have fired 30 kilometers, 20 kilometers over here. Okay, so you would have had the sound effects coming from point A, and then where it lands, point 2, right? The initial boom, where it fires off, and the kaboom, where it lands. Same again here. Probably over here, probably over here, probably over here, probably over here. Now for, let's use blue. For all the people around here, and you know, probably the people out here as well, they would have heard this, okay? They would have heard these kaboom kabooms. The one bang where it leaves the artillery unit, and the second bang where it lands. Okay? And then they would be getting text messages and alerts coming through their phone, you know, via their TVs, via their laptops. Air raid sirens would have played. Do you understand what I'm saying? For all these people, it would have been very real. They were really hearing bangs, okay? But like I just said, yeah, it was the Ghost Army shelling empty fields, shelling empty fields, shelling empty fields. Sound effects, okay? Sound effects. Now, you're going to be saying to me, I know what you're thinking is like, well, you know, the Ukrainian military couldn't have been in on this hoax. No, they weren't. They were told to go to the outskirts of Kiev, and they are told to do what is called a show of force. Now, if you're not in the military and you don't know what it is, I'll explain. A show of force is when you purposely fire off quick rounds from your artillery units to send a message to the enemy that's out here, your capability, your range. So they would have been told via the hidden hand, okay, you know, unit number 1, fire 5 rounds, rapid fire, bang, bang, bang. Unit number 7, fire 5 rounds, bang, bang, bang. Show of force, yeah? These guys are just following orders. like I said, there would have been British special forces kind of leading these guys around, but they're just doing their job, okay? And if you don't believe me, go and do some research into kind of like military tactics and go and look into what is called a show of force. This is where you just fire everything you got into the enemy's direction to kind of scare them, to let them know your firepower you have. Okay? Common things. Anyway, let's get back to the illusion op that was Kiev. So yeah, people would have been told to evacuate. Yeah, they were under the illusion that 200,000 of Russia's most elite troops, yeah, Spetsnaz and the 1st Rifle Brigade were coming, okay? The TV was telling them so, their smartphones were telling them so, and even if they were questioning it, they would have heard kabooms and kabooms, and they would have obviously seen military moving out here, okay? It would have seemed very real for them. Now, here's the thing. They were told to evacuate, right? But what colour should we use now? Let's use orange. The military, the government, the police had told their forces to shut off all of the roads, blockade the roads. So they're telling everyday civilians to leave, but they've also blocked all the roads outbound, okay? So they couldn't go outbound. Maybe, I'm sure a few slipped through the net, but the vast majority of people could not go outbound, you know? It's no secret that the Ukrainian forces blew up their own bridges, yeah? Like in places like near Irpin, we all know about. They supposedly blew up their own bridges because they thought they were under the illusion that Russians were going to come, okay? But really, it stopped civilians, yellow for civilians, getting out. It just wasn't going to happen. So they were forced, they were human trafficked to go into the center of Kiev, and of course the only way out at the time was the train. I can't remember. I think this is the train line here. Maybe, whatever. You get the point, yeah? Couldn't go outwards by car. They had no choice but to on foot walk through central Kiev to get the train. Now, if you've seen my illusion warfare report, you'll know about what happened here, right? With a large amount of people trying to leave Kiev, you think the obvious thing to do would put on extra train services. Obviously, they did the complete opposite. They put on a limited train service. Only a few trains leaving per day. And of course, that kind of bottlenecked or made the number of people at the train station build up. This is where the media came in. Because then they were filming the train station that was, had been engineered to be rammo with people because of all of the human trafficking tactics that have been put in place to make it happen. Okay? And of course, as I pointed out in my illusion warfare report, they closed. It was a lockdown, right, in Kiev. There was no restaurants open. And outside the train station of Kiev, there's like a Pizza Hut, a KFC, a McDonald's, yeah? All were closed. Really, they could have opened them, allowing people to go and eat, whilst they're waiting at the train station. But no, all closed, meaning the only way to get food was to go to the Red Cross, where they were giving everyone them stupid tinfoil sandwiches and little bowls of soup. Yeah? Giving them the real kind of evacuee, war refugee experience, right? Incredible when you think about it, man. Incredible stuff. So yeah, now, of course, as they had to walk on foot through central Kiev, they had to go into the center to get out. Yeah, the hidden hand had placed all of their props around. Smashed up cars, blockades, them kind of like tank hedgehogs, all through the pedestrian routes, creating a war zone, fully immersive experience for these civilians, okay? So they've now, you got to, put yourselves in their shoes. They've had the bombardment of information and directives coming through their, smartphone, TV and everything saying you've got to get out. The Russians coming. They've heard artillery units firing this way. And then as they're walking through, they've walked across, they've come across blockades, smashed up cars, blockades, military checkpoint, smashed up cars. All of which they're probably TikToking on the way, right? Making it a very real experience for them. And then obviously as they head out into Europe, they then go and tell everyone about their experience. Of course the war was real. I heard the artillery. I walked past blown up cars. I spent a day, 24 hours stuck at the train station, sleeping on the platform, and all I could get was a bowl of soup. Yes, for me the experience was very real. Yeah, man. This is illusion warfare, man. This is how they make it happen. Oh, I've been talking a lot there. Hang on, let me have a sip of my coffee, man. I've been giving myself a headache talking so much. But I hope what I'm saying makes sense to people when it comes to human trafficking. Blocking off one exit, forcing people to go down a pre-planned route that is littered with props, fully immersive kind of zones that are very warlike, forcing people to be stuck at train stations unnecessarily, purposely closing all the restaurants, forcing people to eat kind of evacuee, war refugee food. It's all there, man. It's all there. So yeah, man. Where I know it happened in Kiev, I speculate it happened in Rafah, the south of Gaza. And I speculate a lot more of that kind of stuff's going on. Even that kind of, the initial kind of trigger event, this festival, where apparently Hamas paragliding commandos flew in. That was an illusion operation. I don't know where it was on the map. I haven't really looked out, but they purposely set up a festival. I imagine there was some actors in there, some agent provocateurs, some undercovers, but maybe half of them were genuine people, but they were being set up, okay? It was all a setup, an illusion operation. These paragliders theatrically flying above head. Everyone's probably fleeing. I guarantee there was probably certain roads closed, forcing the fleeing festival goers to go a certain way, where the cameras would have been lying in wait to film their behavior, man. Human trafficking, forcing the masses, the easily fooled, easily hypnotized masses to participate in the illusion operation in question. We live in a twilight world. There are no friends at dusk.